Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you guys can see, we are in the third bay and the Corvette is not here because it is currently at the dyno. I don't really know what it's going to make for power, but hopefully all the problems that we had have been resolved in the previous video. So we've got some downtime. We've been working on the Silverado and now we're back on another Corvette project. And for this project, it doesn't need to be here right now because we're kind of waiting on some parts, and the next two parts I need to buy for this car are pretty expensive. So long story short, this video has been kicked off because people on Facebook Marketplace are super cheap. You guys might be wondering, well, what are you talking about? Well, you guys will know that I bought a set of ZR1 calipers for the Silverado behind me, and I ended up not using those calipers because I just wasn't really comfortable with all the machine work that we had to do to the spindle. I was kind of worried about structural integrity on that. And the other thing was, I don't know if the ZR1 calipers are rated for towing or weight capacity and all that, because it's meant for like a 3,200 pound sports car, not like a 6,000 pound truck plus all the weight, 10, 12,000 pounds. So there's some concerns to be there. So what we have is a ZR1 caliper, and you guys will notice a rear ZR1 caliper. The reason I picked up the rears, because like I said, was because of Facebook Marketplace. So I had these for sale listed. I had them listed for like 700 bucks. These calipers, I think I've got almost 900 in them, so I was already losing money on them. And I'll be honest, guys, the best offers I was getting was like $300 or $400. And yeah, there's no way I'm gonna lose that much money on a set of good ZR1 calipers. The one needs to be slightly refinished, and the other one is literally brand new in box. So because of that, I just decided to go ahead and pick up the rear calipers. And you guys will see that this one has been machined. They basically skinned the top and the bottom of the caliper, and the reason we did that is because we want to fit a set of 17s on here for a racing wheel. I think it's a 305 45 17. I think that's the tire I have on there. It's a ET Street R. Now I was running those on my SS, but like I said, that wheel will fit both the SS and the Corvette. And since we're going to be upgrading to the ZR1 parts, we might as well make sure that our wheels fit that we already own. You'll see that I did scuff the entire brake caliper, and as you guys can see, the Corvette lettering is scuffed as well. There's no clear coat on it. Well, there is. It's just scuffed, like I said. So I was pleasantly surprised to see that the Corvette lettering was actually underneath the clear coat. I really didn't think it was going to be. Then I started looking at it closer, and I could actually see the ridges where the letters are. So where this letter is, there's a little bit of a ridge. So what I did was I took my Scotch-Brite pad and I just went very carefully over the Corvette lettering because I didn't want to rub too hard and perhaps break into that clear coat. So like I said, I just went really easy on this section, and the rest of the caliper, as you guys can see, I knocked down all of the clear coat. And you can already see I taped off the brake pistons in the middle, as well as the bleeder screws up top. This will get painted blue with the caliper because that's the way it is from the factory. And what I'm going to do next is hit those couple spots that I missed, and we're going to start primering. All right guys, it's been a couple days since our last update on the brake project, and what you guys will see behind me is we are in the third bay. We're going to be utilizing the lift since it's not occupied because the Corvette's gone. We're going to be using the lift to hang up all of our pieces. So we've got our 6-piston caliper for the front. We've got our 2 rear calipers in the back. You guys can see that we primered the back edges that were machined on the rear calipers. So you guys can see that here, same thing. It's been machined, be good to go. And then the front caliper, this was just all of that priming, sanding, and getting all of the big dents and everything torn out of this because this front caliper was pretty beat up. Like you guys know, that was on a previous project for the Silverado. Yeah, so that caliper I bought pretty beat up. It had a bunch of nicks and scratches in it and some pretty big holes in it. And all I had to do was basically sand all that stuff off. It took a little while. It took a couple priming and blocking sessions to get all those nicks out, but I got 90% of them out. I left a couple on the back because it's on the back. You're never going to see. It's going to be behind the rotor anyway. So yeah, just a lot of, oh, and that caliper had been previously painted because I got through the base coat, clear coat on the first layer and through the primer, and then I hit blue again. So it was like blue, white, and then aluminum. So it was really kind of weird that that front caliper, particular caliper, had been painted previously. So now Some spots will be 3 layers of paint, some spots will be 1 layer of paint, because like I said, we did sand through in a couple spots. But yeah, so this caliper has been primed several times, blocked like I said. We've blocked off all the ports, the bleeder screws. All right guys, you can see the lift actually worked really well. I was able to get all the angles I needed to. We got the bottom. This one was a little bit more difficult just because it is hanging further down than the rear calipers, and it is bigger, so you've got more of a surface area to target. But yeah, everything worked out pretty well over here. The rear calipers painted up real nicely. So yeah, I mean, this is going really well. It's covering very well. All the black has been covered. From what I could tell, you know, what we're painting, the old paint versus new paint, I'm not really seeing much of a color difference there. Not that we should, but yeah, I think this is going really well, like I'm saying. You know, for the next round of paint, we're going to target the mounting pads. So basically this part. Actually, this part I got really good, but I can see on this caliper and that caliper are both a little off. So I need to cover that one more time. But like I was saying about this paint, guys, I actually didn't have much of that splotching or anything like that. So yeah, just keeping this clean, cleaning the tip off, like I was saying, and shaking it a whole lot. I think that's what's made all the difference here. So, but yeah, we're gonna do this with one more layer of paint and we should be good on the base coat on the calipers. If you guys noticed in the time lapse, the cup filled with clear coat basically broke off, dripped all down my arm. Then I ended up spraying, just trying to push it back on there, holding it, spraying it. It turned out into a real mess. And all those tarps that were behind me and below me, those are gone. They're in the trash. So we're gonna have to replace those. But long story short, you know, 2 problems. One, we got a couple runs. That's not a bigger deal. The second problem, guys, the paint doesn't match. If you guys could see, there's a clear, distinct color difference between the wave blue, the paint that I got, and the original caliper paint. I thought this was gonna be a closer match. I did a test spray out, everything looked good. But, you know, when we were done with the clear coat and everything, it doesn't look good. You guys can clearly see there's a color difference there. And then the second problem, you guys can see the tape marks look awful. So yeah, long story short, we're basically going to scuff these again, put new base coat on it, put new lettering on there. Those are on the way. I ordered new Corvette logos, and then we're going to re-clear it. If you guys look down here, you actually can't see the clear difference between the colors. You know, this blue is much darker than the rest of the caliper. So I actually went all the way down to 80 grit sandpaper to get rid of all those tape lines. We ran into an issue with the stickers. I had ordered a set of stickers. They took like 2 weeks to get here, and they were the wrong size. Plus, they were a C8 font. So I reached out to 3 manufacturers of those stickers, or at least distributors, and no one even got back to me. I emailed, sent private messages, and no one got back to me. So finally, I reached out to one of my buddies, Eric, over at Gearhead Design. He's got a YouTube channel. I'll include that information down below. So I actually sent him a Adobe file. I don't remember what kind of file it was, but it was someone had gone in and designed a C6 replica sticker that they had cut and they put on their ZR1. So I sent him that. I sent him all the dimensions. I really carefully measured everything, width, arch, you know, top, bottom, and sent him the file. And he basically either redesigned that file or kind of started over. I'm not really sure which way he did that. So he did me a favor and he sent those to me, and he actually sent me 3 sets. I've got another buddy that wants one of these sticker packages. So, but he told me that I had to open this on camera. So, all right. Let's see what old Woody sent my way. All right. Oh, I can already see the object of something. Hopefully I don't get demonetized for this. But yeah, so this is Eric's channel. Eric has done a LS swap in his Chevy Beretta. It's rear wheel drive. I think it's a Ford 8 with a T56 and a Ford Explorer, or yeah, some Ford 9-inch rear end. And so it's pretty cool. He got that up and running and went to LS Fest. Here's the contents of the package. Well, that's an old joke between Eric and I going back damn near 20 years. You guys know what that is. And here are the stickers. So this is the silver set that I wanted. And looks like I got a couple practice pieces in case I screw something up. And then here is the black set that my friend wanted. So I'm gonna have to send him a message and be like, hey, I got these stickers made. And you know, we'll go from there. And just to show this against the calipers, this is the 6-piston front, 4-piston rear. Here's the front. Guys, that looks really close. You know, I think that's going to be good enough. Yeah, that should fit just fine. So, and here's going to be a comparison of the rear. Yeah, I think that's going to fit without issue. All right, guys, I think this is going to be a mid-video update, but it has actually been several weeks, maybe almost 2 months since I actually worked on these calipers. But long story short, we've been working on the ZR2 videos. I think you guys have seen a bunch of those recently, and I wanted to pick up the brakes project. So, and if you guys look here, you can see both front calipers are a different color. You'll see this is more of a jet stream blue. This is the old paint code that I picked up, and like I said, I was never satisfied with it. And this is a lot more accurate to the ZR1 blue. You know, it's a much darker blue, and the color we went with, paint code is WA388A. That is the Blew Me Away Pearl. So this is a GM color. And like I said, whatever color we'd picked previously that looks a lot more jet stream blue than this looks way more appropriate and way more accurate to be the correct color. So this is just one coat on the caliper. What I've been doing is actually been sanding these and kind of spot fixing them. And then I recoated the whole thing in the old color because I just wanted that base coat. Because I think, like I was saying, I think these are almost a tricolor paint job. I think it's this base coat. I think it's a darker blue and then clear coat on top of that. So if we have to touch these up, that might be a problem in the future. But at least the final coat, I know what it is. It's that Blew Me Away. And kind of like I was saying, this is just a much more softer blue, more of a blue-green than the dark blue that these look. And just looking at these, just seeing how it is flopping without any clear on it, this does look accurate. And so yeah, I just kind of wanted to give you a quick update of what we've been doing with this caliper project. It has installed, it's just taken a lot longer than I thought it was going to. All right guys, if you can see behind me, we do have both sets of calipers painted. Just finished up the rear. And yeah, this went really well. All right guys, it is yet another day, and you guys will see over here that we have the passenger side caliper painted once again, and we have the two rears in primer. And that is because when I was painting last night, it got cold real quick, and I think everything shrank. So today what I did, the big thing I did difference was I used a heat gun to preheat the part, then I painted it, or in this case primed it. Same thing over here, preheated the part, preheated the paint with the heat gun, let that all get warm, painted it, and it looks a lot better. So had to basically scuff the passenger side caliper front with a red Scotch-Brite pad. And then for the back, I actually had to sand this down to the metal because the shrinkage was so bad that it almost looked like I was trying to antique the paint job, which obviously I wasn't trying to do. So kind of a lesson learned, don't paint when it's so cold. I think that the caliper was super cold. Then I had these fans on last night, letting it run over, you know, trying to push air over the paint to let it dry. I think it shrank even quicker. So you guys can see we have those Corvette sticker. This caliper I didn't actually have to end up refinishing. You know, I put new base coat over it, and so I could actually still see the Corvette logos underneath. So that lined up really well. Speaking of those stickers, I actually have a picture here of my buddy's ZR1. He's got 1,000 horsepower or 1,200 horsepower ZR1. This is his rear caliper that he had powder coated. Same set of stickers. I just shipped them off from Eric. All right, guys, after many weeks, the calipers are finally done. You guys can see them here. We have all the stickers installed. There's clear coat on all of them. And finally, these stupid calipers are done. This project wouldn't have been possible without help from Eric over at Gearhead Designs, like I said earlier in the video. No one makes these proper ZR1 size Corvette logos. I basically had to take the stock dimensions and I kind of measured them off for Eric, sent them out to him, and he was able to cut them for me. And so yeah, if you guys have a ZR1 caliper that you're trying to refinish, go check out Gearhead Designs and he'd probably be able to cut you a set. I'm not sure what he'll charge for it, but I know he has the file, he's done it, and I know that his stickers will be on at least 2 ZR1s. Well, mine's not really ZR1, but you guys know what I'm saying. So yeah, that is it for the caliper refinishing, but we got one more surprise for you guys that goes along with the swap. So what we have here is a carbon ceramic disc for a C6 ZR1. I believe the C7s are similar part numbers, but I think there's something different between the C6 and C7. And if you guys cross-shop the ZR1 rotors with the Z28 rotors off of 5th Gen Camaro, I think those are even different as well. So you've got to be kind of careful with which ones you buy. Make sure you get the correct ones. I think the C7 ZR1 and the C7 Z06 that have the carbon package, the carbon ceramics, I think they're all different part numbers. Some of them interchange, some of them don't. Just got to be careful. Like I said, make sure you get the right ones. So this is a set of the fronts. And yes, you guys might be like, isn't that really expensive? They are, but I have found them on sale a couple times. Price difference between the carbon ceramic rotor and the gyro rotor, I think it's gyro disc or something like that, the steel rotor that uses the C6 ZR1 hub and all that, isn't actually all that much. It might be between $200 to $300 for rotor, but honestly, guys, just kind of buy these parts up over time and you'll eventually get all 4. And so yeah, these will eventually end up on the Corvette. If you guys want to see that update, hit that subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications. If you guys want to help support the channel, check out all the links down below. I'll include links to the paint, the clear coat, the heat gun, everything that we've used in the project. Part numbers for the caliper, a link over to Eric's site for the stickers, and I think that'll be about it. Oh, and we'll also include you some part numbers for the rotors as well, because I actually did buy the fronts off Amazon, and they were the cheapest place to get them. So we'll have that all down below. If you guys want to help support the channel, make sure you check out our website, BonecrrusherSS.com. Any support you guys give there goes right back into the channel, the projects, the Corvette, a set of brakes, all that, and any help would be appreciated. So thanks, guys. Have a great one.